Peace and blessings, y'all, in this corner boxing 24. Good evening, good evening. We back. We back. You know, I told y'all that I made a video earlier about fights and, well, pardon me, peace and blessings in this corner boxing 24. How's everyone doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good on this side as always. God is great and God is good. So I made a video earlier talking about fights and how fights need to get back to where it used to be, where champions was fighting champions, the best was fighting the best, and we had to try to see who would win a fight. We didn't just say, well, this guy 100% is going to win it. This guy 100% is going to win it. It was a toss-up. Boxing has to get back to that point. And I used the Tyson Fury Derek Chisora fight as an example because they fought 3 times, right? And it wasn't close fights. And of course, he knocked him out yesterday. So now, just to prove my point, because I'm not always right, but I just read that Eimantas Stanionis, who was ordered to fight Vergil Ortiz, they've been ordered to fight. So Eimantas Stanionis said that his team didn't agree to the terms, and Vergil Ortiz's team didn't agree to terms for the fight. They couldn't come to an agreement, both sides. Now that could be the purse, the money, that could be the location of the fight, that could be the ring size. It could be different things. You know, you have standard things. But it definitely could be the money, it could be the location, it could be the date, it could be the gloves, it could be the ring, right? Those are terms to a fight, right? Okay, fine. So he said both sides didn't agree to it. But what he also said that really made me think, he said that it's going to go to purse bid December 12th and 13th. But he says in the interim, Vergil Ortiz can give up his position to fight him, and he can bow out. Okay? He don't have to take the fight, basically, he's saying. So this just backs up what I talked about earlier, man. This back and forth, fights happen to go on the purse bid. Same thing just happened with Regis Prograis in his fight with William Cepeda. That fight went to a purse bid, you know? And right after that, the next day, Regis Prograis was on social media talking about he had a bounce check from Marv Nation. Hopefully that doesn't happen with these guys if they get to make a fight. But I'm just saying that fight went to purse bid as well, you know? But these fights should not have to go to purse bid. Eimantas Stanionis, who's a champion, he's a regular champion at the WBA regular champion, and Vergil Ortiz, who's a top contender, they shouldn't have to go to a purse bid, man. They should be able to agree on these terms and get the fight going. So these are the things I'm talking about. So when I was saying earlier, perfect example right here. I don't know it all, but come on, man. This is plain as day. They should be able to come to an agreement. All right, we already being held up with Crawford and Spence. Crawford got his fight on December 10th. Now Spence supposedly is fighting Keith Thurman. We still don't know the validity of that. We do know Terrence Crawford is fighting, and we do know, according to him, that he's getting $10 million, pardon me, and he got $5 million already up front. And he said he'll get the other 5 before he steps into the ring, which would mean he would get that this week, because he said a week before the fight. So that means he might have it already, or he'll get it tomorrow, because he said a week before the 10th, right? Okay. So, but at the end of the day, there's still that Spence Crawford fight is the fight everybody wants to see. And so Spence having all those belts, he's holding up none other than the super duper Jerome Bruce Enos, who's ready to take these belts. All he needs is an opportunity. He's being held up with Crawford and Spence. Okay? He's IBF #1 mandatory, and he's 1, 2, or 3, no less than 3, in the WBC, the WBA, WBO. So he's ready, but he can't make his move because this fight is being held up. And now we got it here where these guys can't come to an agreement. And you know, Vergil Ortiz and Stanionis can't come to agreement to fight each other. You know damn well they're not going to make no agreement, either one of them, to have a fight with Boots. Because he's the boogeyman anyway. And he's a real boogeyman. He's not no weight bully, none of that. He's just a boogeyman because the next fighter either don't want to get embarrassed, they don't want to get stopped, they don't want to get hurt, they don't want to lose. Fighting him is a, half and half. I might get knocked out, I might get totally dominated. They don't want to take that chance. But it's boxing. You got to take that chance. And if you lose to a super duper fighter like Boots Enos, it's not a knock on you, man. He's just super. He's just very special. He comes along once in a while. He's not a common talent. That's, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to see him. So, Stanionis, Vergil Ortiz, they're not going to take that chance with him. Keith Thurman, you know he ain't going to take that chance. Crawford, he ain't going to take that chance. Spence, he ain't going to take that chance. I mean, because like I said, and I like Crawford, don't get me wrong, I really got to hear something different from him, but I always said he didn't have to fight David Avenesian, who's not ranked in the top 5 in none of these organizations, not even in the top 5, that he didn't have to take that fight. He could have fought Boots. He could have fought Vergil Ortiz. He could have fought Stanionis. So I can't be trying to hear that excuse about David Avenesian is tough. He ain't that tough, okay? You could have fought one of them. Errol Spence, you say you don't want to fight Keith Thurman, fight Boots. You got the belts. If you're not going to fight Crawford, you should fight Boots. Because what else are you gaining? If you're not fighting for the belt, the WBO right now, then fight Boots. Why not fight Boots? Because the potential to lose is greater than the potential to win. Let's keep it real. Just say that. Otherwise, just fight the man. You don't like Keith Thurman. You said you would never give him a fight after what he did to you. He stalled you. He said when you got a belt, when you took care of your business with Kell Brook, he was going to give you a shot. He never gave you a shot. So that's where the bad blood comes in between y'all. But yet, you doing the same thing to the other fighters, to the up-and-coming fighters, like Boots. Okay, so boxing got to get better. We got to get back to real fights and the best fighting the best and champions fighting the champions and not being scared of each other. Put your O on the line. Somebody's O eventually has got to go. That's boxing 101. All right? Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner, Boxing 24.